Good morning, good people.
Good morning, sir.
Karibuni, will pray for us.
Let us pray.
As far as we were concerned as AJAABU, we decided at last we have a father, because before then we were sort of birthday in the wilderness. And I can tell you that then I became a mother in that environment. And then I had children with me, and they were complaining that I was not bringing them to see the father. So this meeting, Your Excellency, is very important.
Asante. I'm Rigathi, Deputy President.
Foreign directors with us, Your Excellency.
Your Excellency, my name is Odinga from the Secretariat.
From where?
Secretariat Agency.
Okay.
On that process. Your Excellency, that also will be informed by the exercise which you have just commanded us to do, which is to audit the performance of the development functions. And in doing so, we'll also be checking on the capacities.
Yes.
To do these things, and that will be a major exercise. And Your Excellency, fortunately, this is actually already built into our current strategic plan.
Yes.
We did this strategic plan to align ourselves to the beta plan. It was very clear that the beta plan does recognize the need for the county governments to do better if we are going to deliver the beta plan. And in that sense, therefore, we have to play a role of smart catalysts for the changes which are needed in the county governments. And that can only happen by giving them feedback where they are falling short of what is expected of them. But also, if we can engage them much better with the sector departments in terms of the sector forums, where in the sector forums, instead of the current practice where they go to handle crisis, they agree on what are we going to achieve in each of the departments, in each one of the sectors, and what the national government institutions will do, and what the county governments are going to do to deliver those targets as envisaged in beta. Then we think that way we get the devolution to start delivering the way it was expected to deliver. And that's what our strategic plan essentially tries to bring on board for the ADVERTISE to perform. And I must say, when we met Chief of Staff and we were briefing on this, and she saw this perspective and actually emphasized it, I told her I wish all the senior government officers were in that mind. And in that sense, maybe I can also say that maybe one of the days we should have a seminar where we have high level.
Okay, we are going to say cheers. Cheers. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Since the advent of devolution, we have seen, to a large extent, a very huge transformation in the rural areas, because services that were not reaching the people are clearly visible. And again, the interventions that have been made are county-specific, depending on one county to another. So we continue to support devolution. And as I coordinate intergovernmental relations, I have instructions from the President to create a working relationship with the county governments, and to a large extent I've tried to do that as much as possible. We really consult a lot with them on many issues. We disagree on a few, on only matter resources, but in terms of procedure, in terms of engagement, in terms of goodwill, in terms of political support, we all talk the same language. We disagree once in a while on the division of revenue bill, again because it's a struggle for scarce resources. because the resources are not enough. So there's push and pull between myself and them, but ultimately we agree. We disagreed a little bit during the emergency of El Nino because they wanted to insist that it's our function. We were saying it's our function, but it's also their function because we need the same people and they have some money for emergency, which we also wanted them to apply and not heap blame on us. But overall, I can say this administration is the administration that will be creating the best working relationship between the county governments and the national government. It's something that the president asked me to do, and I will continue to do so. Your technical committee is critical in the success of devolution, especially in matters to do with the transfer of functions. But again, Chairman, we also want you to evaluate the functions that were transferred and find out whether they are working. Because I think there are some functions that we transferred that were not ready. I think it's also your responsibility to carry out an audit, for a cynic audit, very, very in-depth, to find out whether the functions that are already transferred, are they working or not, so that we can seek for remedy. Otherwise, I want to say karibuni sana, and we are happy with the new CEO. We can see a lot of energy in the technical committee. We want to encourage you to continue working hard and always consult with us. We are available. My chief of staff is there. If need be, I will be available at short notice so that if there are issues that we want to agree on, we can agree on. I'll suggest after this presentation on the functions that you intend to transfer and gazette, before you do so, I would request the president also to listen to you, because he is really the father of devolution. For 10 years, he sat here and, he was in charge of the whole process, and he understands the space well. And from where he sits, he has even a wider view of the country than I do. I think it will only be kind for him also to have the benefit of, having an input in intended action before you do so. Again, that helps in terms of our relationships, so that we are all in sync, that whatever we want to do, we are all talking the same language, so that when you gazette whatever you want to gazette, all of us are on board. So continuous engagement is a good thing, and indeed is the modus operandi of our administration. There is no harm in consultation. Let's keep on consulting. Anything time you want to do something that has far-reaching implications on policy, on the general governance of the country, or the national government, or the county governments, let's consult. And we are not unreasonable people, we are listening people, and we'll be happy to give our input, and we'll talk together and agree what we need to do and what we don't need to do.